right, today's breaking news. The first thing that we're going to get into is TSM. If you guys have noticed that all the chip sectors have dropped significantly in the past couple of days, and today, a couple of hours ago, the world's largest semiconductor manufacturer, TSM, just announced that it is planning to build a $5 billion factory here in the US. Now, you would think that's exciting, but here's the thing. It's contingent based on the passing of the CHIPS bill, which was issued initially back in 2020. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what the CHIPS Act is, well, it's a bill that was passed by Congress for a proposed $52 billion to fund local domestic players to start manufacturing chips here in the United States. That way we don't have the supply chain issue that we've been having for the past couple of years. Now, we've actually seen a massive impact of this since 2020 once the pandemic started happening. And prior to that, we were actually having issues as well. Because TSM is actually in Taiwan, there's been issues here back and forth with China and Taiwan, which also has caused issues with getting the chips overseas. So this bill was supposed to give $52 billion to domestic chip makers so they can build factories, and that way we could build chips here. Now, for the average person may not even know this, but everything has chips. I don't know about y'all, but my refrigerator broke about a month ago and I could not find a refrigerator. I was going from store to store to store. It got to the point where I'm like, dude, like, what do you guys have available right now? And it didn't have anything. Everything was delayed a couple months out because of the chip issue, the chip shortage. Luckily, I did find one through Samsung. I ended up getting it delivered a couple days later. But point being is that we have a massive chip issue. But this bill was specifically intended for American companies only. And of course, who end up actually passing this bill? Yes, love them, hate them. It was done during the Trump administration. He's the one who noticed that there was a supply issue and there was always issues with getting chips. So he wanted to manufacture chips here with American companies such as Intel. But here's the catch. Another thing, however, last year, there was the semiconductor industry urged Congress to start opening this up to all chip manufacturers. And that's why TSM is now into play. But you would think that since, you know, TSM is trying to move here and that Congress has the CHIPS Act bill that is actually funded. No, the bill still hasn't been funded. Hence the reason why things have kind of slowed down here in the United States as well. And that's why TSM said that it's based on the contingent if the bill actually gets funded. That being said, it's just for the fact that TSM can offset its costs on building its factories here. It's kind of messed up because if you think about it, all the different chip manufacturers out there, specifically Intel, this is an American-based company. That's why I liked Intel. That's why I started investing into them, because they started actually building a chip manufacturing center here in the United States in Ohio. But just a couple of days ago, they actually also froze their building there. So they're not building it anymore right now. They put it on freeze because they also want to take advantage of the subsidy. If TSM is able to come in, foreign countries are able to come in and have the government pay them, they were like, you know what, we want a piece of that pie as well. So they actually stopped building their manufacturing center right now, and it's put on hold. So we'll see what happens. The thing is this is the crazy part, is that if you look at the grand scheme of things, when it comes, so it's going to be a little bit political here, y'all. It was $52 billion that needed to be funded, and it's been 2 years and it still hasn't been funded. Hence the reason why we have all these issues. And that's probably why you saw AMD go down, NVDA go down, TSM went down just a little bit. All these chip companies have been going down. SMH, everyone's favorite ETF, is almost at $200 right now. That's like a massive dip from the all-time high. Plus, of course, we're also in a bearish market. That being said, though, why do I think we haven't funded this yet? Well, we actually spent over $50 billion we gave to Ukraine, just shipped it over there. Now, of course, I don't know if that's part of the money, if that's the reason why they haven't funded this yet, but we have spent money at Ukraine. Just literally dropped, I think it was about $58 billion we gave to Ukraine for weapons and food supplies and etc. And the midterms are coming up, and unfortunately, the semiconductor is really not on their priority right now. So I'm not sure if this is going to get passed or not. I know there's a lot of people right now coming forward, business analysts, people who work in the government, saying that, hey, you guys need to fulfill this bill right now, because if not, all these deals like TSM and all these other countries that are trying to come over here and build factories, they might pull their deal off the table, and then we're going to be stuck in another situation like we are right now, and it could get worse.